Hey, yo, it's Megamouth, and today I'm going to do a video game review for Golf on the Virtual Boy. What score does this one deserve? Well, uh, this game, it was made by T&E Soft, and I played a game they made on the Nintendo 64, and honestly, even though the graphics by today's standards would be very primitive, I actually remember liking that Nintendo 64 golf game a whole lot. This one on the Virtual Boy, I had hoped it would actually be kind of similar to that one I remember enjoying. And Golf on the Virtual Boy, it is to me like a tech demo of what golf games used to be like in the mid 1990s. This one, it had, for the time, I can try to look through it from the mirror of 1995. It had decent graphics for a golf game in that era. In fact, back then, they probably would have actually been looked at as being impressive, despite the fact that all Virtual Boy games are only red and black in terms of their color. Um, the main thing that really held this game back to me in about the hour or so I played it was that the controls were just not very good. The use of 3D, it was a decently effective graphical style for a golf game, but even when the shots, when you're seeing the ball go up into the air, it feels like you just chipped it a tiny little bit of the way. Certain things, the graphics are neat, I guess, like the shot power meter. But ultimately, I mean, like even trying to hit the ball accurately, like to make the ball, go to the left or go to the right, the controls to me really held this game back. It just wasn't very fun. It wasn't very enjoyable. And in terms of actually trying to sink putts or hit like balls long distance, just really nothing about this golf game stood the test of time. There's just so much that's better out there. As a historical curiosity, I think most people are only going to play this game a tiny little bit. I don't really think there's going to be anyone out there that would like to go back in time and play this game for long, periods of time. Uh, you know, for the Virtual Boy, there are some good games that were released for it, and there are some games that kind of stand the test of time, but golf is just not one of them. To me, it was a major disappointment. I would much rather go back and play the Nintendo 64 version. At least I have some nostalgia for that one personally. But this game, it is simplistic. Even if I had bought it back in 1995, I think I would have gotten very tired of it very quickly. The controls, they made the game miserable to me, honestly. So for a classical review score, if I bought it back in 1995, it's golf. It's perfectly serviceable. Back then, I probably would have scored it a 3 out of 5. But from a modern perspective, it just kind of was a disappointing, miserable experience. I'll give it a score of just 1.5 out of 5. I would encourage you to certainly play any of the other games that have been re released thus far. This has been Mega Mouse signing out. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.